Hello. Hi, K. Pope. Poep. How do you say? Is that how you say your name? Poep. Sorry, I am bad at names. Let's be honest. Most streamers are bad at names. Hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. Um. So, if you saw my Instagram post, yesterday, I kind of talked a little bit about how, with the um, with the wrap up stream with the author's commentary stream that Katie and I did on Saturday, I'm starting to kind of step away from Your Embers at My Fingertips. Doesn't mean I'm done with it. I still have plenty of ideas, and my Saturday streams are going to continue being one shots for Your Embers at My Fingertips. But the other stream that I do, which is usually on Mondays, but after Saturday, well, I did a bunch of stuff this past Monday. I was really busy, so I didn't have time to stream. So I decided to stream today. But my Monday streams, I kind of want to use as an opportunity to write other things in a different form, that's not just Your Embers at My Fingertips one shots. I had a poll, on that story, with some options for what I kind of want to start doing and what people would be most interested in seeing, and the most votes that were on that were for original character stuff, which I didn't have time to set up for today. But there was some other stuff on there too. It was, maybe doing some non Yermers at My Fingertips Minecraft fan fictions, doing some one page, no dialogue, descriptive one shots. Hello, Krabic Empire. Hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. I hope your day is going well. So those were which that one, the one page no dialogue descriptive one shots, are really good for practicing show don't tell, which is something all writers can work on. It's always a good thing to stretch your creative muscles and do something along those lines. And then the other option was rewriting old fan fictions, which I don't have a lot. I mean, I have a fair bit posted on my AO3, but those are all from the last 2 years because I went through and purged. Like when I started writing fan fiction again, I went through and I purged like all of my old fan fictions from like Wattpad and AO3. Like they're all gone. You won't find them. I don't even have them anymore. So I went through and I kind of looked at um, what one shots, what fan fictions I would be interested in rewriting. And there's one that I really don't like. And it's for the simple reason of I wrote it in an hour. Um, I wrote it in an hour and posted it the same day. So it didn't get edited and it got posted on the same day that I wrote it. So I'm not very happy with it. So I want the opportunity to work on that and fix that today. So my thought is, I haven't read this, by the way. I looked at it briefly before this, but I haven't actually read the fan fiction itself. So my thought is we'll go through and read it and you can see the cringy era of Hawk. And we'll have some fun going through that and kind of not editing it, but like rewriting it. Hi, Nini. Hello, hello. I hope your day is going well. How's your day going? Um, Also, can we appreciate the new starting soon screen? I'm happy with it. I spent an hour working on. Oh, should I show off my new screens? I made a new starting soon, be right back, and ending soon screen. So I'm gonna show those off really quick. So this is the new starting soon screen. Um, this is the new be right back screen, and this is the new ending soon screen. I'm really happy with them. I think they came out really nice. But anyway, so my thought is we'll read through. So it's a Valentine's Day thing. You love the new screens? Oh, thank you. I'm pleased with them. I'm happy. So we'll read through the very cringy Valentine's Day. um, Krabic Empire, thank you for following. I don't know why that didn't show up on the screen. It should have. Sorry about that. But thank you for following. So yeah, we'll go through and we will just switch to that screen. So as you can see, it's a flower husband's. It's a flower husband's. I don't know if you can see, but yeah. I jumped into the like they call each other petal or something. I don't even remember who called who petal. I gotta be honest. But it was a Valentine's Day thing, and this was when I had only watched Jimmy and Scott's perspectives, so I didn't have a full idea of what Third Life was. And if you've read my more recent, like over the past like probably year and a half, I don't write romance anymore. I had a phase like like 7 years of my life where all I wrote was romance. And I've reached a point in my life where I don't do that anymore. I like characters being platonically gay with each other, but I don't really do like full on romance. Hi Shreya. Hi, welcome to the stream. How's your day going? I hope it's going well. We're just talking about the plan. So this story is gonna end up being more platonically gay than romantic. Especially with all of the other characters as well. Because I remember like I had these like, oh well, these were the duos from Third Life, so let me like I don't know anything about them. Let me just put them together. And so now I know the people from Third Life and I can write it better. So anyway, we're gonna read through this cringe. I will show you the cringe from 2 years ago. This literally was 2 years ago. So take this writing with a grain of salt. This is when I had just gotten back into writing, so don't judge me too harshly. And then we'll go from there. And we're gonna read through it on the screen so you guys can see it, but I'm probably gonna have it up on my other monitor, my second monitor. Romance can get overrated when it's done too much. I agree. I really prefer characters to be like, you know, we love each other, but in a platonic way. Like how I write Tango and Jimmy, where it's like, yeah, I mean, if I didn't say that they were platonic, you might think that they were into each other, but they're not. Like that's the vibe that I tend to go with. Although my OCs ended up falling in love in a couple places, so there you go. Especially when it comes to that annoying will they won't they kind of deal. Yeah, definitely. I really don't like love triangles either. Also, what are you doing? What am I doing today? So I've picked a fan fiction that I wrote 2 years ago. That I really don't like. It's my least favorite fan fiction that I've written on my AO3 account since I purged it 2 years ago. So we are going to read through that and not judge me too harshly for it, but we can laugh about it. And then we are going to rewrite it in a better way, and it'll get posted on AO3 tomorrow after I've had a chance to edit it. And it's not going to be as romantic. I gotta be honest, I don't even really remember what happens in this fanfiction. Other than it's so cringy. Okay, are we ready, guys? We're not gonna judge me too harshly, okay? But we can laugh about it. Alright. Let's get into it. We're not gonna read the notes. We're not gonna do it. Okay. Oh my god, I'm dying. I'm already dying, guys. I don't show my old fan fictions to anybody, so this is gonna be fun. Okay, here we go. It's Valentine's Day on the Third Life server, so everyone is taking a break from the fighting, explosions, trickery, and general chaos that tends to go on to spend time with the people they care about. Which means Scott and Jimmy have the day to themselves. Typically, Jimmy's... I'm so embarrassed. Typically, Jimmy sleeps in quite a while after Scott, unless he rouses the clumsy blonde. But today, when Scott wakes up, Jimmy is nowhere to be seen. Have fun, though. Yeah, we're gonna have fun. It's gonna be great. He frowns, having hoped to spend the morning cuddling with his husband in bed. Instead, the only thing on Jimmy's side of the bed is a single poppy and a folded note. Scott can't help the small smile at the sight of the poppy, even though he is still quite peeved that his plans to lay comfortably in bed with Jimmy for the next few hours are spoiled. Scott takes the note and unfolds it. So here's the thing. This should be italics. Right? This should be italic, shouldn't it? Because it looks like just another part of the story. This should be italic. Okay, anyway. Dear Scott, happy Valentine's Day. I'm sorry I'm not there to give you the the biggest kiss and hug, but I'm planning something super special for later. I'll be gone for a few hours, but I promise to be back soon. In the meantime, I left you your favorite breakfast waiting in the furnace, and I planted a bunch of poppies and cornflowers around the house. I love you. Love, Jimmy. Aw, that's sweet. We love that. We love that. Scott sighs and flops back onto the bed. He doesn't want to spend another It sounds so like choppy. Can you hear the way I'm reading it? That sounds so choppy, right? That can't just be me, right? Okay. So we know what we have to fix. We have to make it like read better so it's not as choppy. Scott sighs and flops back onto the bed. He doesn't want to spend another Valentine's Day alone, especially now that he's married. Whatever Jimmy has planned, Scott's sure he'll love it, but it still sucks. Maybe he can go out and spend time with some of the other factions until Jimmy's done with whatever surprise he's working on, so that he won't be alone for the next few hours. He'll probably end up third wheeling with a good amount of them, but maybe it won't be too bad. Hi, Hawkwing. Hello, K-Pope. I'm not entirely sure how to say your name. I hope I'm not saying it wrong, but I probably am. How's your day going? And please let me know how to say your name. After getting up and dressed, Scott finds his favorite breakfast hot and ready in the furnace. That comma does not need to be there. That comma is unnecessary, guys. Just like Jimmy promised, that also doesn't need to be there. Which brings a smile to his face. You know what's interesting? I've noticed this about myself. I go through phases where certain grammar things is like all I use. Like there was a period where I used semicolons so much. And it was so unnecessary. Do you notice that? Like where you'll do a specific thing with your art or like your creative thing. Specifically for me, it's writing. But it's like you use a specific thing so often and it's so unnecessary, but you can't stop using it. I've noticed that about myself several times. Okay, where were we? Oh, this. Okay, we're about to get to the sand people, apparently. Um, he wouldn't admit it to anyone else, but he does look all over their base to find Jimmy just in case he hasn't actually left, so that he could force Jimmy to stay with him, but his husband is nowhere to be found, so he leaves to find the sand people. Yes, yeah. Okay, good. It's not just me. They're happy to welcome Scott into... Okay, so one thing that we should do is probably have moments where Scott's actually talking to them. You know what I mean? Like, if we're just writing what's happening, that's not as exciting as like actual conversations. So it wouldn't have to be long conversations, but we could do like short, brief things of like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, and just have them talk for a second. We could also add the angst of like Scott being lonely and not me reading the rest of that sentence. Oh my gosh. Guys, I've grown in the last 2 years. I talked to my Oma about this because like in Connected, which was a book that I wrote, as you can see in the chat, I wrote a book and I'm going to fix it after I finish the trilogy I'm working on right now. But those characters are in a relationship. Like, I have a polyamorous relationship, a trio, as the main couple, like the main relationship in the book. And I loved it when I first started writing it, like 2.5 years ago. Well, it was 2 years ago, however long. It's been about 2 years. And I loved that relationship because I was still in the phase of like really enjoying romance. And it got to the point where I couldn't write it anymore because the romance made me feel so weird. I don't know what happened. I just got so uncomfortable with romance at one point in my life. I'm back at the point where, like, I'm going to, when I rewrite the book, when I fix it, I'm going to have them be in a relationship. I just probably am not going to have them be, like, as lovey-dovey as they are at the beginning. But I've also grown again as a writer, so I'm able to... I've also written more romance since then because my himbos... You don't know who my himbos are, but I do. You'll know who my himbos are when you know who my himbos are. Follow my Patreon to learn who my himbos are. So I've gotten to the point where I can write romance again, but there was a period where I literally couldn't, and that made it so hard to write Connected. But sometimes you just have to like pivot and like alter things to make it more comfortable. But I had to talk to, like, I went through so many conversations with my Oma trying to figure out how to write romantic characters again. And because like it was just so uncomfortable for a period of my life, and I really don't know why. Okay, where were we? We were at Scar and Grian being in love with each other. I don't ship them. I'm gonna be clear. I do not ship Minecraft people anymore. I did when I first started getting into it, but I've grown. I was still a child, not legally, but I was 18. So I was still like, I don't know, it was an interesting period of my life. And also I didn't know anything about Minecraft people at all. But okay, so it's going to be more platonic than what it is in this story. Okay, they're happy to welcome Scott into the desert, but he immediately feels like he's intruding because the two were holding... Oh, that's not even... That's bad. That's wrong. That's a past tense thing, and over here we've got a present tense thing because the two were holding each other, feeding each other food. Scott will admit that he hadn't seen that coming. Love that for me. But to be fair, At first, he hadn't seen himself loving Jimmy. Scott stays with them for a half hour or so, talking and relaxing, but the feeling of being a third wheel is quite strong, so he excuses himself. That's bad too. We don't want to... Okay, so here's the thing. You don't want to repeat the same word in the same sentence, or like even the same paragraph if you can avoid it, unless the paragraph's really long. Like, you don't want it to be too close because then it sounds choppy, so we can't have like excuses and excuse it like that close together. With the excuse of wanting to see everyone on the server. Oh, here we go. Next you go. Oh, I forgot about this. Oh, this was back when this was back when Joel was part of Dogwarts. Next he goes to visit Skiz since he's pretty close, but the house is empty. Maybe he's gone over to Ren and Martin's place since they're all pretty tight-knit these days. He's pretty sure Tango will be with the Crassel people. Oh, Joel and Bigby will be together. Since when did that... That didn't happen, did it? That wasn't a thing. When was that a thing? When did I think that was a thing? Or did I just not know anything about either of them? So I was like, put them together. Like, I think what we'll have in the rewrite is all of Dogwarts together. And maybe... Oh, where would Joel be? I don't want Joel to be by himself on Valentine's Day. Where should we put Joel, guys? You guys think about where we can put Joel, and we'll talk about it when we're rewriting it. He's pretty sure Tango will be with the Crassel people. Joel and Bigby will be together. Etho will be with Dogwarts, and Impulse will either be with the Crassel or Dogwarts. Maybe we have Etho and Impulse be together. Because they were allies, before Impulse betrayed them. But we could have, like, Bigby, Martin, and Ren be chilling together. We could have Etho and Impulse. We'll talk about that in a minute. Scott does go to visit all of the groups, spending an hour or so with each. But it's not enough... Oh, gosh. Allergies. But it's not enough to distract him from Jimmy's absence. Especially not when each group eventually asks where he is, and all Scott can say is out. Or maybe we should have Joel be with Jimmy, like, helping Jimmy set up. Like, Joel's just not anywhere. I think that would work. Then they either give him a secret look, or a look, or an Nope, oh, nope, that's a problem, too. Look and look? No. Or a look of pity. That's when he excuses himself, saying he wants to visit everyone. Ah. Yeah, let's just repeat a sentence. Love that for me. Every half hour, he sends a message to Jimmy, asking where he's at, if he's coming home yet, where he's been, and all Scott gets in response is, I'll be home soon, Petal, I love you. It's not enough, and Scott swears the minute he sees Jimmy, that man is getting slapped in the face for leaving him on Valentine's Day of all days. Love that. Finally, close to dusk, while Scott is getting ready to... Shadow snoring. Can you... I don't think you'll be able to hear her, but Shadow snoring next to me. Finally, close to dusk, when Scott is getting ready to leave Dogwarts again, where, again, he is surprised by how many relationships have developed. Ugh! I can't. I'm not reading that. Sorry. No shade to anyone who ships the Minecraft characters. No shade. Like, if that's what you do, then that's absolutely fine. I have an aversion to romance. So I'm really sorry about that reaction. If you ship them, that is totally fine, and I do not judge you in the slightest. I want to be very clear. As long as you're not shipping the real people, I do not have a problem with it. I just don't. I promise. The reason I had that reaction is I have such an aversion to kissing and romance that I can't believe I wrote that. Solidarity Gaming. I'm home. This should be italics too. While Scott has decided that he is quite mad at Jimmy, he will admit that he races home as quickly as he can. He's ready to start shouting at his husband for leaving him alone as he opens the door, but stops at the sight before him. Lanterns have been hung all over their little valley from string tied to posts. Got it. Somehow, Jimmy has gotten a hold of sea lanterns because the lake is glowing. Wow. Sea lanterns in Third Life? That's amazing. Flowers have been planted everywhere. There's a picnic with a red and cyan blanket, wicker basket, and all sorts of food laid out in front of Jimmy's old house, which is now which is now being used for storage. And there, Jimmy stands in front of Scott. He's crafted himself more formal, fancy clothing, and he has actually styled his hair. In his hands is a bouquet of poppies and cornflowers and a black box. Oh, we're having a proposal. Love that. He looks nervous, like he knows Scott's angry. And he definitely still is, but it's faded now that he knows what Jimmy's been doing. How long is this? Okay, I think we're done. Do you guys want me to read the rest of this? Because the rest of it is just a picnic, and I think he's proposing. Because, you know, black box. I'm guessing they're proposing. I'm guessing. I won't do that. Okay. I think we'll leave it there. So we have, like, the basic idea of what this story is. Maybe I shouldn't have picked a fanfiction to rewrite that's a romance one. But I want to rewrite it because I can do it better. And also, it's good to try to write romance from time to time. But I'm going to make it more platonically gay than actual romance. Okay. How did it start? It started with him waking up. Okay. I'm really sorry if I offended anybody with that, like, reaction. I didn't even mean to do it. Okay. It's Valentine's Day on the Third Life server. I was about to say, and all of our platonically gay himbos are Hold on. And all of our platonically gay himbos have decided to cease fire to spend the day with their loved ones. Aww. It's Valentine's Day on the Third Life server, and all of our platonically gay himbos have decided to cease fire in order to spend the day with their loved ones. That's cute. I don't know why Nightbot is still being weird. Nightbot's one of the... Because, like, I haven't seen the Patreon thing come up. Like, I did fix that. I did, like, add that to it, but I haven't seen it. Okay. When Scott wakes up, he is birds. Whoop. Hobbit hole. And the wafting scent of fried eggs and bacon. When Scott wakes up, he is greeted with the chirping of birds outside his hobbit hole and the wafting scent of fried eggs and bacon coming from the warm furnace against the wall. Okay. Okay. Thinking. It's been a while since I've written this kind of thing. Well, it's not actually true. I've written... Okay, I gotta be honest. It's been a while since I've written fluff. I've written romance in the past, month. Maybe the past 2 months. I've written romance because of my himbos. But it was more like extremely tragic romance. So I'm not used to writing this kind of romance. You know what I mean? If you guys have any ideas for where characters should be on Valentine's Day, I would appreciate it, because I'm not entirely sure with some of them. Like, we've got, the obvious factions with, Dogwarts and the Crassel people. So I feel like all of Dogwarts should be together, and all of the Crassel should be together. Which, it would depend on if we want to set it as, before Impulse's betrayal or after Impulse's betrayal. My thought is, though, with how close Scott and Jimmy and Joel are IRL, maybe Joel could be the one to, help Jimmy, set stuff up. And so Joel would be gone too. Which works because Joel didn't really have a faction at all the entire time. Hi, Marty. How's your day going? I don't know why. What is the 3 dots for? The joints. Ah. Groans and stretches, the joints in his back popping. As his arm... Hi, Shadow. She just got up and shaked and then laid back down. When do you guys think she will abandon us today? Hi, Nini. Yeah, the little puppo. Little puppo. I venture that she will abandon me within the next 10 minutes. Because she's been with me the entire time so far. I don't expect she's gonna have the patience to stay much longer. As his arm... what is the word that I'm looking for? Never. Okay, maybe 20 minutes. Okay. I'm guessing 10 minutes. Nini's guessing 20 minutes. Nini, if you win, you can ask any question about any character from whatever you want that I've written, and I will answer it. Okay, maybe not Etho. Maybe not Etho, but any other character. And if I win, I get nothing. I just lose my dog. I keep wanting to say, as his arm waves over the pillow, it rustles the paper. But well, I guess even if I win, you win, because I guess 10 minutes. Would you like to ask a question? I don't know. I know I'm not writing your numbers at my fingertips right now, but I don't mind talking about it. As his arm brushes, there we go, over his cyan pillowcase, because we just give Scott cyan everything in Third Life. As his arm brushes over his cyan, the cyan pillowcase, we don't need to have his twice, the cyan pillowcase. A piece of paper rustles. Shadow, are you going to abandon me? Come here. She gets the scritches. Sweet little baby gets the scritches. I'm getting really distracted today, guys. My brain is just not focusing. I've been really busy the last couple days, so my brain is just like, hey, why don't we just take a vacation? But I was like, I'm gonna stream today. This sounds like a great idea. Let's be honest. It's not a Hawk stream if I don't get off topic at least 20 times. Nightbot, why do you keep saying that it's still being updated? It's not being updated, bro. It's done, and I updated you to say that it was done. Oh, she laid down. Oh my gosh, this is unprecedented. Shadow, I thought you were going to abandon me. Oh my goodness. Would you guys like it if I posted pictures of her more often on Instagram? Because I don't really post pictures of anything on Instagram. I just use my stories. But sometimes I post pictures of her, and they don't get as many likes as when I post stuff about my writing. So I don't post pictures of her very often. But then you guys don't get to see her. And that's sad, because she's beautiful. I've written a paragraph. Been trying to write for 13 minutes and I've written a paragraph. This is great. Love this for me. I'm just so distracted, guys. It's great. This was gonna be a Patreon stream, so I was gonna be writing the one shot for Friday. Because I post one shots for my characters from the book on Fridays. And I post writing advice blogs on Wednesdays. I do monthly streams, but I was going to stream today, and then I realized that I can't stream, like I can't use directly from OBS or directly from Twitch to stream on Patreon. You have to do YouTube, and YouTube makes you wait 24 hours before you're able to stream. And I set that in motion at 4 p.m. yesterday, which meant that I wouldn't be able to stream for like another 6 hours from when I was supposed to. So I was like, okay, I already said I'm gonna stream, so I'll just stream on Twitch. Okay. Focus. Free hand. Dear Scott. Now here is the question. How do we write this this letter? I've written more letters now than I have before, like when I first wrote this. Does anyone know what the storyline for the connected fan fiction is? Because I genuinely don't remember, and I'm a little curious, but I know I'm going to cringe when I read it. But I really don't remember what the storyline was. It was something like... Sorry, I got distracted again. The connected fan fiction storyline was something along the lines of, like... Scott and Jimmy were in love with each other, but Zornoth was also in love with Jimmy. So Zornoth kidnapped Jimmy and tortured him, and it was a whole thing. And so Scott and a couple other people had to go and save Jimmy. Like, it was something like that, wasn't it? I really don't remember. The connected book is better. But, yeah. Okay, letter. I'm sorry, I'm so distracted. You know how Katie has that point redemption that's like Earth to Katie? I need one of those. I need a channel point redemption that's Earth to Hawk, because I get so off topic. Okay, dear Scott. What is this? Happy Valentine's Day. Okay. Ocean talk. Yeah, just yeah. Dear Scott, happy Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day to my wonderful flower husband. I don't know how to formulate this letter, guys. My brain isn't working. How do I do this? Wait, I just got a message from... Wait, how? Wait, how? Katie says I can get Shadow in Minecraft because the Black Wolf... Wait. Sorry, I have to find out about this. If I can get a Shadow in Minecraft, you know I will search high and low until I find a Shadow in Minecraft. Katie says hi. Katie says hi, chat. If they do, like, when they add that, we have to do maybe we should do a stream. It's like maybe one of the only streams I do for my survival world where we just search for a shadow wolf. We just search for a shadow wolf. It's gonna be great. I cannot type those letters on my keyboard because I have an American keyboard and we don't have those letters in English. If I changed my keyboard settings, then there would be a way for me to do that, but I don't have that on my keyboard. Yes, Finding Shadow, The Great Adventure. Yes. I probably won't stream Minecraft very much because I'm trying to use it as like a relaxation thing, not my job, because I do like, it may not seem like it, but I do a lot of work. Like, I'm working almost every day. I only stream twice a week and you only get a couple of one shots, but I am working, especially because like I have to do the one shot and the writing vlog for Patreon, and I'm writing one shots for AO3, and I'm streaming, and I have something that I'm working on for TikTok and Instagram Reels that I don't know if I want. I guess I could tell you guys about it today if you want to hear my thoughts on it, but I'm working on that now, and I'm writing my book. So I do a lot of work, so I'm trying to keep Minecraft and like video games as like I'm trying to keep that as like a me thing, something I can do that's just for me. But I do think a Finding Shadow stream would be really fun. So when I get that update on my survival world, then I think we'll stream that, and then we'll just stream a couple hours and see if we can find Shadow. And I'll show you around my world, but we won't do too much in my area. We'll just go and find Shadow, and that'll be the stream. Secrets, yeah. I don't mind telling you guys about it. I just don't know when it'll happen. It's just something I'm working on. I'm thinking about how I can do marketing, and TikTok is like the best way to do marketing because you can potentially have it shown to like thousands of people, depending on if you get it on trending, like your video. And obviously I want my writing to be the thing that I'm known for. So I'm playing with the idea of a cozy corner, like a series of videos in the cozy corner. And so I'm going to set up a little corner of the house that I'm moving into, because also I'm moving, so there's that on top of my plate as well. But I'm train of thought. I'm setting up a corner in the house I'm moving into, that is going to be like set up specifically to feel cozy and warm and safe. And I'm going to read very short snippets of like out of context moments that make sense on their own but don't spoil anything. Maybe from fan fictions, I might ask you guys to send me some ideas of little snippets that you think would work well for that. And so like it could come from fan fictions, it could come from my own one shots, it could come from one shots that I write for Patreon. So it'd be for my characters, it could be from my book. You know, it'll just be very short snippets, and I might do like series of parts if it's too long, because I don't want it to be too long. I need it to be only like 30 seconds long, because people are definitely like, people lose, like, people's attention spans on TikTok are very short. And so I'm starting to get the things ready to set that up. And then I will start doing that. And so those videos will go up on my TikTok, which I'm not saying what the TikTok is yet, because I don't know when I'm going to be able to start posting on there. And I want to have at least one video for you guys to see when I start advertising it. But it'll also go up on Instagram, and I'm thinking I'll post it on my YouTube as well. Because it shouldn't have the TikTok watermark, because I'm going to film it on my camera and then edit it in CapCut, and then I can download it from CapCut to upload to the various sites. And I'm hoping I'll be able to post one every day. There will probably be times where that doesn't happen, but I'm planning on filming once a week, and if I do short ones, I can do a bunch, and I'll be able to sit down for it, so I won't be in pain, and it'll be a nice little visual, and you'll be able to see my face, so that'll be interesting, because you guys can't see my face most of the time. I don't know if any of you know what I look like, honestly. You might. It's not hard to find what my face looks like, but I just don't have it posted anywhere public right now. Well, I do have it posted public in a couple places, but I don't know if you can find that. You'd have to actually search. So it'll be like it'll be a little bit of a face reveal, which will be fun. Unless you already know what I look like, and then you don't care. Okay. But I like the idea. I was talking to my Oma, and I just had the idea, and so tomorrow we're going to get supplies for it. And then next week we're going to start setting it up, and I need to get a chair and an end table to make it look nice. And then once I have all that set up, then I can start filming, and it'll be great, and we'll have fun. Oh, that's fair. Yeah, I forgot about that. That information, I think, is outdated. I think it says I'm gender fluid, and I was at that point, but I'm agender. But yeah, I forgot I put my picture in there. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that was so long ago. I think, unfortunately, I think that, I don't know if that VOD is on Katie's channel or not. It may have not gotten posted. We did a wrap up stream last year when the book was published. I think this time I'll probably, like, for your Embers, I'll probably end up um, doing like a pre-order, so you'll have the opportunity to like pre-order it like a month before it drops, and then when it drops, then you can have it like immediately sent to you. And then maybe like, well, it'll depend on Katie's schedule and my schedule, but we'll do another wrap up stream probably. Oh, but I don't even know. I might be doing it with a publisher potentially if I get an agent and then a publisher. I got another rejection letter yesterday, so we're making our way through. Okay, should we get back on track? I think we should. Um, yeah, Shadow, do you have something to say? I'm surprised you haven't left yet. You usually get bored by now. Okay. Okay. How do we like this letter? Dear Scott, happy Valentine's Day to my wonderful flower husband. I'm sorry I'm not there to greet you this morning, but I'm planning something super special. I'll be back in a few hours. See you soon. Love, Jimmy. I think that's cute. I love how like I come into these streams with a plan and I'm like, yeah, we're gonna do this, and then I end up not writing for like an hour. We end up just talking most of the time, or I end up talking. I ramble, guys. It happens. It's a problem I have. I I gotta be honest, I'm a little bored with this story. Especially since my idea is I was gonna write, like yesterday I was planning on writing a character from my book. It's not angsty enough, guys. It's not angsty enough for my tastes. How can we make it angstier? Or should we not? Well, I guess it is a good practice for me to write stuff that isn't super angsty, but like, you guys know how angsty I am with my writing most of the time. It's really hard for me not to write stuff that's angsty. As you can, as you can tell by the very traumatic fan fiction story that I wrote. Just want to hold on. Oh yeah, how did we like Ebb and Flow? I'm really happy with Ebb and Flow. I think that came out nice. Oh wow, I didn't realize we had passed 400 kudos. That's really cool. I'm really glad people liked Yambers at My Fingertips so much. What? Yep. Traumatic. Didn't notice. Yeah. I don't know how you would have noticed. It's definitely not. Hold on. What is this? Okay. Sorry about that. I don't know what that was. Just wait until you read your embers, Nini. Just you wait. Just you wait. I struggle so much with not writing spoilery stuff for the one-shots on my Patreon. You don't understand, Nini. Honestly, people who come to people who come to the Patreon live stream are probably going to get some spoilers, but not like a severe amount, just like just I'm probably gonna end up talking about it a little bit, and you're probably I mean, you're already getting spoilers for the world building and the characters, so and then people who subscribe to the third tier get sneak peeks. Which I actually haven't posted any of those yet, because nobody's on that tier. Nobody's on that tier that doesn't already have access to spoilers, I should say. You'll notice as we get closer, like as more information comes out about your embers, you guys will notice how much I talk about it. I have a problem. It's like it's all I talk about. Every time I get on a call with my Oma, like I end up ranting about your embers for like 30 minutes. But she says she likes listening to me talk about it, so it's fine. Just wait until it's out, guys. Then you'll never hear me stop talking about it. Okay, where are we at? This is... Okay, I really don't know how I can do this without it. Because, like, I don't know how I can do this without it still being choppy. Because it's so difficult for me to write fluff. Okay. Help me. Give me strength. Help me figure this out. I don't know how to do this. It's a good practice. Like, it's good to put yourself in uncomfortable situations. It's just hard. Shadow, you are being really patient today. Usually you're like really upset that I'm still in here and you go out and sit on the couch and wait until I go over there. But you're just chilling. Okay. Extra shadow time. Yeah. We love extra shadow time. Okay. I feel like I need to change the plan. I don't think this fanfiction is actually going to work for me to be able to rewrite. I picked this one because I really didn't like it when I first wrote it, but I really don't think I can rewrite it. Because it's the ones like, hold on, let me... How far back was this? It's the one like this. Like, this is one that I've already rewritten. You may have seen it. It was probably at the bottom here, like way far down. This one. Tango chooses to become Red Remastered. This one I rewrote because I loved the concept so much. I don't know if I can actually rewrite this fan fiction. I would like to be able to say that I can, but I think sometimes you just can't. So I guess we can use this as a lesson of like, sometimes you can try and you just don't succeed. So what should we do instead? For the people that saw the poll on my Instagram, should we try for a different fan fiction to rewrite? This one's a shorter one. Oh, back in the day where I did the no beta, we die like men. Love that for me. There's plenty of old ranchers fan fiction. Oh my gosh, I forgot about this one, bro. That was a long time ago. There's other old fan fictions we can try to rewrite. I could do a different thing entirely. If you guys wanted, because there was something on there that I don't think is easy to understand unless I describe it. One of the things on the poll that I had was you're fine with a different fanfiction rewrite, but also different thing at all. Okay. There's one thing on there that I put on that poll that I don't think makes sense unless you know what I'm talking about. 1 page, no dialogue, descriptive one-shot. I don't think that makes sense unless I show it to you. And I think it could be something that I could easily write right now if I just pick a topic. If I just pick one. So I'm going to show this. I'm going to show this to you, and we're going to read it together. Yeah, I wasn't sure what you meant with that. Yeah. So we'll read through this, and I'll show you what it means, and then we can decide if it's a good thing to write for the rest of the stream. Because I think it could be fun. Okay. The sun shines through the open window, perfectly accompanied by a soft, cool fall breeze. Outside, towering high above the tiny mushroom home, is an ancient oak covered in gorgeous fall leaves. Red, yellow, and a select scattered brown are dotted around, hanging onto the branches. The rustling of these leaves can be heard even far down on the ground within the small home. The living room is cozy, decorated with memories of travel, homemade items, and dozens of books. An entire wall is dedicated to the glorious tomes known to transport even the most weary of travelers. 2 comfortable chairs are set up in front of the bookcases, with knitted blankets full of color and love draped over the cushions. Across from them, pressed up against the window next to the front door, is a couch. The couch has 2 blankets expertly placed along the top and 2 purple pillows tucked into the corners. End tables are placed on either side of the couch, and a larger one with space for 2 drinks is in between the 2 chairs, perfect for the 4 residents of this home. 4 bedrooms are carved out nicely into their little mushroom. One is for the grandmother. Many books lie within this room. She loves to transport her mind and share all she learns from her travels into these glorious realms. Another is for the father. His room is set up for artistic pursuits as well as the search for knowledge. One can never learn too much. The third is for the daughter. She's as athletic as they come and neat as one can be. She can generally be found exercising or reorganizing her room, as she tends to do at 3 in the morning. And the final bedroom is for the non-binary child. They strive to create the stories the grandmother consumes. They can usually be found sitting outside, pressed up against the oak, or down by the nearby lake working on their stories. Today, though, the family is together in the kitchen, getting ready for a big meal with all of their friends and those they consider close family. A large feast will be provided in the spacious garden outside their home. The grandmother, certainly the most culinary inclined of the 4, is managing the kitchen. She teaches the other 3 how to prepare the meals and oversees their progress. The father is working on the grandmother's famous mashed potatoes, his favorite part of any meal. The daughter works on the cookies, as baking is her forte. The non-binary child works to prepare the fruits and vegetables. While chopping food tends to be a difficult task for them, they are determined to accomplish this. Instead of being stressful, there's an air of laughter in the warm room. The family works together in perfect harmony until every dish is done. Sorry, that's the wrong screen. I keep getting pop-ups, and that's really annoying. Okay, sorry about that. Where was I? The family works together in perfect harmony until every dish is done. Thankfully, it's a potluck, the best version of get-together meals, so every guest will bring their own dish as well. Then, the family hugs with large smiles on their faces. The father and daughter head outside to start setting up the tables and chairs while the grandmother and non-binary child prepare to bring the dishes outside. Finally, it's time to rest until the guests start to arrive. Greetings are shared and hugs are passed around as they're wanted. With each new guest, the tables fill up until there's no space left. Laughter can be heard by any passers-by as stories are shared and games are played. It's a wonderful evening, and by the time it's done, the family is quite ready for a night of rest. Okay, so that's kind of what I mean. It's a really like show don't tell sort of situation. And so there's no dialogue, and you keep it to a page. I've done a few of these, and they're really fun. They don't take very long most of the time, but, you know, that's when I'm just blasting music through my ears by myself, so we might be able to finish it by the end of the stream, but we might not. Or we could pick... one of the other fan fictions, but you like that? Yeah. That was a birthday present. So I might leave this for the Happy Valentine's Day for another time, and we can try it a different stream, or maybe not at all, but I'll leave it. I'm not going to delete it. I'm just going to leave it. But I think... yeah. So basically, for this, we just need to pick characters and a setting. We can go from there. So we can choose fan fiction people. Um, this is supposed to be more along the lines of like calming. So it's not fluff, but it's like it's more of a vibe. Um, I tend to do it with like fantastical creatures. I've done one with Ekor, but that was a long time ago. And because I'm not currently working on that, I don't want to try to get like fixated on connected again, you know what I mean? Um Also, Nini, it looks like we were both wrong because Shadow's still here. um so I'm thinking we could do a fairy. Do a fairy living in a flower, maybe? Or living in a flower field has maybe a little like a little house in a flower field. What would the house be made out of? I always do mushrooms, but it doesn't need to be a mushroom. But it'd be kind of... It wouldn't really work for their house to be... Maybe never was the correct answer after all. I shouldn't have wrote 20 minutes. Yeah. Maybe we could do just like a fairy flying around a flower field or something. We can try that. Shadow. You're so cute. Very pink. Pink skin and pink. Are we going with fairies from Ilia? Have you read Connected? Has anyone here read Connected? Do you know what Ilia is? we going fairies from Ilia, or are we just going fairies in general? Because I might end up doing fairies from Ilia just for fun. Because it's purple. Yeah, it's purple. It's purple skin and pink hair. I'm just looking at my tattoo. I have some of the fairies tattooed on my arm. I'm also... Hold on. I'm going to... Okay, I'm changing the title. Okay. I don't know if anyone here knows about Ilia yet. But that's okay if you don't. You've read the first few chapters and haven't had much time lately, and you're kind of a slow reader, so not that's totally fine. No worries. Fairy purple. Lilac skin and soft pink hair. Oh, she has left. She has abandoned me. An hour and 23 minutes in, and she has left. The fairy, lilac skinned and soft pink haired, flutters around the... what flowers would they have in Ilia? That's the question. We'll do buttercups. I just had buttercups show up in my head, so we're doing buttercups. Around the buttercup field. I like buttercups. They're pretty. So close. We'll buy a shadow. Yeah. You can still win the question if you would like, Nini. I will let you have won the question. If you would like to ask a question, I will answer it. It can be from any of the stories I've written. If it's an old one, I don't promise I will have remembered the situations. The fairy, lilac skinned and soft pink haired, flutters around the buttercup field. Her. I have to think about a question. Yeah. Take your time. You've got like 35 minutes. What color are their wings? Green, blue, wings. Green, blue wings. Fluttering. Oh, I've already done fluttering. Shining in the soft glow of the sun. Flowers with the wind. Time with the pastel pink grass. The fairy, lilac-skinned and soft pink flutters around the buttercup field, her green-blue wings shining in the soft glow of the sun. The flowers wave in the wind in time with the pastel pink grass. In Ilia. Wow. Colors. Soft. Okay. In Ilia, all of the colors are soft and the air is sweet. Each fairy works under the gracious queen, and this fairy is no different. She cares for the yellow field of flowers glittering under the sun. Cling to the petals until warmth dries them. In the morning, dew tends to cling to the petals until the warmth dries them. The fairy must olive to and fro. Olive to. The fairy must sprinkle pollen to and fro in order to help. Or just plants grow. Her father cares for the roses. I honor. Wait, sure, what is it? What is it called? The nutrients way must be discarded. Each field has a different fairy attending to it. Her father cares for the roses, a high honor. None of the flowers are picked, but the weeds sucking the nutrients away must be discarded. Next to her buttercups. Mother watches the animals in the grass field next to her buttercups. Okay, next to the buttercups is better. It's hard. Sometimes it's hard to think about like how can it, like what the storyline should be, you know? Because most of the time I'm doing these for gifts, and so I just spend like a week figuring out what the storyline is. But you know, sometimes you just have to jump into a story, and that's okay. We love that. I would have had a better. Most of the time, I have better ideas of what I'm writing on stream. Today, I was supposed to be streaming on Patreon, so I already had an idea and I knew what I was going to write, and then I was like, I can't write this on Twitch. That needs to be on Patreon. Okay, her mother watches over the animals. That can be on this paragraph. That doesn't need its own paragraph. You're getting like hints to connected. Have fun with that. Though she hardly has to fight against it. Okay. Today things are peaceful. Okay, I just realized I didn't read this paragraph. Sorry about that. Each field has a different fairy attending to it. Her father cares for the roses, a high honor. None of the flowers are picked, but the weeds sucking the nutrients away must be discarded. Her mother watches over the animals in the grass field next to the buttercups. Rumor is that Leanda's animals are similar, but different to Ilia's. At least that's what her cousin says the mages who come to visit say. It's whispered that the queen doesn't like the mages, but she tolerates them. One day, the mages came to the fairy's field and observed her. She didn't like them either. Today, things are peaceful. The wind brushes the fairy's hair out in a calm trail behind her head, though she hardly has to fight against it. It'll be fun to pick the hints out when you're in the correct part of Connected. Yeah. It's like, I mean, you've probably got a bit to go yet, but I like Ilia. It was a fun section to write. I'm looking forward to getting to write it again when I finish Your Embers trilogy. I'm basically halfway done with. I was about to say the dude's name. I'm almost finished. I'm halfway through Your Ember's story, like the trilogy. I'm about halfway through the second book, and then there's one book after it. Because I'm doing so many other things for, this for like streaming and AO3, and I'm starting to do TikTok when that gets set up. I don't have as much time to write as I did with Your Embers. So I don't know entirely when it's going to be done. I'm hoping it'll be done by the end, like the whole story will be done by the end of the year, but we'll see what happens. If it's done by the end of the year, and like if my TikTok is doing well, and Twitch starts doing well, and if I have enough followers that I think I can have enough people buy Your Embers by self-publishing, and I finished the entire story, I probably will self-publish again. But we'll just have to see what happens, because it also depends on when Katie is able to do the cover art, because obviously you need cover art for the book, and I'm not going to rush her on that. She's busy enough as it is. I'm trying to think what else happens in a field. Typing would be good. We love being able to type. All like pastel stuff though. Because if it's being made from like grass or animals or something that has to be like pastel. Uh, oh, sorry, I got lost in it again. Um, Today things are peaceful. The wind brushes the faerie's hair out in a calm trail behind her head, though she hardly has to fight against the breeze. The buttercups sway gently, and she can almost hear a song playing through the serenity of the moment. She hums under her breath, twirling around in the air. Pollen swings out of the pastel purple pouch, spreading along the yellow petals of the surrounding flowers. The faerie smiles. Flying around the field, dancing and twirling, Pollen flings out of the pouch to cover the expanse of flowers. Glancing over at her father's field, she can see him grinning and zooming through the air over the flowers. Hovering over the variety of flowers. Drifting away from her. Okay. Their eyes meet and her father begins a jig, swinging his arms around as he dances with his feet hovering over the variety of flowers. She smiles widely and copies his movements, feeling the pollen drifting away from her hip. Laughter can be heard in the distance. She looks over her shoulder to see her mother watching them with her hands on her hips. You found a question. So in Yamp, Grian goes back to the Western Air Temple, so I am assuming Belenta is no longer there. So what happened to her? If you can't answer that, then what was her connection to the Watchers? That is a good question. Yeah, Belenta is no longer there. She was kind of... Her job with the Watchers was more along the lines of recruitment. Recruitment of young, impressionable people. My thought is she was planted at the Western Air Temple a long time ago. She may have always been there and ended up joining the Watchers, as many people did. Just from like whispers or searching for them or being approached by them. And her job was to make a target and nurture them into becoming one of the Watchers. And so when she met Grian, like a very impressionable person that became very attached to her, it was like, well, obviously. And she could tell that he could become very powerful. So her job was to kind of prepare him to be approached by the Watchers. And then by the time he was old enough to, have her, tell him about the Watchers, he trusted her so deeply that, of course, he said yes. She probably left the Western Air Temple after that. She may have gone on to, integrate herself into somebody else's life and try to recruit them, or she may have gone to a compound and potentially been like promoted. Or she may have just disappeared entirely. I'm not, like, nobody really knows. There's many things that could have happened to the people that were meant to bring people in, young, impressionable people. Days in the field could be quite dull if not filled with steps to enjoyment. Dancing is easy. Laughter is easy. fairy, her family should spend their days following this method. They didn't be tiring and boring. They didn't fill their days with something to make them smile. Caring for the fields would be a chore. So instead, the fairy dances and comes out to their father while their mother watches. Okay. What is the point of life if not to make it fun? Days in the field could be quite dull if not filled with steps to enjoyment. Dancing is easy, laughter is easy, humming is easy. It doesn't matter if you're good at it. Sing, laugh, smile, live. The fairy and her family spend their days following this method. If they didn't, work would be tiring and boring. If they didn't fill their days with something to make them smile, caring for the fields would be a chore. So instead, the fairy dances and grins at their father while their mother watches. Pollen swings and flies from their hip, covering the field with its yellow, or it's golden, right? Like kind of golden glory to giving the flowers life. While life is bestowed on the fairy herself. So instead, the fairy dances and grins at their father while their mother watches. Pollen swings and flies from their hip, covering the field with its golden glory and giving the flowers life. All the while, life is bestowed upon the fairy herself. He hums and twirls around, wings fluttering in time with the beat she creates for herself. Father watches her and waits until she's finished to copy her movements exactly. The day is filled with fun, and the night is filled with rest and relaxation. The family talks and reads, talks with dinner and reads before bed. The moon peeks through the window, larger than the stars, and the bright stars all around it. Sometimes the fairy wonders if those are the same stars that the people on Leanda see as well. You hope so. There. There. Nice stars. Okay. Yeah, that's a page. Cool. I ended up writing the last bit pretty quick. Sometimes you just enjoy a story. I like these because they're like, they don't need a storyline, you know? It's an interesting exercise, I think. You only have one page, you can't do dialogue, and well, I guess we kind of have a tiny bit of dialogue, but it's not actually dialogue, you know what I mean? Okay. I think it's fun. I enjoy doing it. And it's one of those that, like, in the past I wouldn't have been able to do it, and the first time I did it, I'm not sure well, actually, I think the first one that I did came out all right, but I think obviously I could do it better now. You'll hear me say that about a lot of stuff. I could do it better now, but that's just because I've written more. Alright, let's read through it. The fairy, lilac-skinned and soft pink-haired, flutters around the buttercup field, her green-blue wings shining in the soft glow of the sun. The flowers wave in the wind in time with the pastel pink grass. In Ilia, all of the colors are soft, and the air is sweet. Each fairy works under the gracious queen, and this fairy is no different. She cares for the yellow field of flowers glittering under the sun. In the morning, dew tends to cling to the petals until the warmth dries them. The fairy must sprinkle pollen to and fro in order to help the gorgeous plants thrive. Each field has a different fairy attending to it. Her father cares for the roses, a high honor. None of the flowers are picked, but the weeds sucking the nutrients away must be discarded. Her mother watches over the animals in the grass field next to the buttercups. Rumor is that Leanda's animals are similar, but different to Ilia's. At least that's what her cousin says the mages who come to visit say. It's whispered that the queen doesn't like the mages, but she tolerates them. One day, the mages came to the fairy's field and observed her. She didn't like them either. Today, things are peaceful. The wind brushes the fairy's hair out in a calm trail behind her head, though she hardly has to fight against the breeze. The buttercups sway gently, and she can almost hear a song playing through the serenity of the moment. She hums under her breath, twirling around in the air. Pollen swings out of the pastel purple pouch, spreading along the yellow petals of the surrounding flowers. The fairy smiles. Flying around the field, dancing and twirling, pollen flings out of the pouch to cover the expanse of flowers. Glancing over at her father's field, she can see him grinning and zooming through the air over the flowers. I don't need to have that. We don't need that because we have flowers up here. Their eyes meet, and her father begins a jig, swinging his arms around as he dances with his feet hovering over the variety of flowers. She smiles widely and copies his movements, feeling the pollen drifting away from her hip. Laughter can be heard in the distance. She looks over her shoulder to see her mother watching them with her hands on her hips. It's almost like she can hear her mother's words. You two with your antics again. What is the point of life if not to make it fun? Days in the field could be quite dull if not filled with steps to enjoyment. Dancing is easy, laughter is easy, humming is easy. It doesn't matter if you're good at it or not. Sing, laugh, smile, live. The fairy and her family spend their days following this method. If they didn't, work would be tiring and boring. If they didn't fill their days with something to make them smile, caring for the fields would be a chore. So instead, the fairy dances and grins at their father, while their mother... Hold on. Wrong pronouns. While her mother watches. Pollen swings and flies from... I really just switched the pronouns, didn't I? From her hip, covering the field with its golden glory and giving the flowers life. All the while, life is bestowed upon the fairy herself. She hums and twirls around, her wings fluttering in time with the beat she creates for herself. Her father watches her and waits until she's finished to copy her movements exactly. The day is filled with fun, and the night is filled with rest and relaxation. The family talks with dinner and reads before bed. The moon peeks through the window, larger than the bright stars all around it. Sometimes the fairy wonders if those are the same stars that the people on Leanda see as well. She hopes so. They're nice stars. I like that. I think that's sweet. I think that's cute. That's the power of trying and learning. Exactly. You can't learn if you don't try. And you won't get better at it unless you practice it consistently. So what do we call this? What do we call this? The fairy in the field. Now you want to visit this place. Honestly, I would love to take a vacation to Ilia. Ilia sounds wonderful. That's why I have four of the fairies tattooed on my arm. Got Ilia on my arm. It's great. I'm actually getting more of my tattoo done on Friday, so I'm really excited for that. It's gonna be great. I think we're doing the tree. I have stuff from Ilia, but the tree is from a different world because I like it better that way. But I have like a bunch of fairy houses, and I've got a snail with a six-pack. And I've got four fairies and some flowers from Connected. I've got a tree, a willow tree. But the willow tree is going to be from a world in Your Embers. Technically the second book of Your Embers. So, yeah, so I'm going to be getting that done on Friday. I'm really excited for it. But yeah, I would love to take a vacation to Ilia. Yeah. I started working on, we started working on this tattoo like over a year ago. I love being able to have tattoos because it just looks really pretty. But anyway, I think that's where we're gonna end the stream because we've reached the 2-hour mark and we finished what we were working on. So I'm going to read through this again on my own and edit it, and I'm going to post it on AO3 tomorrow. So you can read it again on AO3. And then this VOD will get uploaded to YouTube tomorrow. We'll switch to the new ending soon screen, which I'm really happy with. So yeah, thank you to everyone who came and hung out on the stream. I will be streaming again hopefully on Saturday, and we're going to be doing Impulse and Gem being reunited after when they were in the listeners base. So we're gonna be writing that on Saturday. I'm really excited because I've been wanting to write that for a while. But yeah, thank you to everyone who came to the stream. And I will see you guys on Saturday. Bye.